5 spells or 5 heroes will do against 5 heroes at that level 1 mark. Someone can take a different spell, like Stoic can go for the ice shards to block someone out, because often at times at these level 1 exchanges, it's also about how to prevent the first point of contact from just backing away. Alright, and then you may want a spell that prevents their escape and inadvertently creates that escape because you don't have enough damage to take them out. So there is always going to be that potential. But we'll see what game number 1 has in store for us as far as the laning phase is concerned. As again, you don't have GZ over here. Right now, he will show up with the Dawnbreaker. He's there now. Stoic is going to go back through the gate, so not going to look for a level 1 play. Good decision, because their Templar Assassin is really going to struggle at that first creep wave if you're not there with him. It's the Lone Druid who's going to take in some decent amount of damage. GZ can look for the blast off right now, but Lone Druid, Monza, is just going to walk towards the other side. And so, pretty much even Steven as far as the bounty rules also went 2 and 2. And over on this bot lane, you have the Axe and the Wind Ranger, so this Templar Assassin might just struggle here. I mean, it's not exactly a super strong hero. In fact, this TA is dead. First blood will be drawn for Pandawa Lima, and they also find the Berserker Call on Stoic. That kill gave them the level 2 mark. Battle Hunger is potentially going to be applied. It should have been. Stoic might just have died there due that Battle Hunger. Sure, it's just at that level 1 mark, only about 12 damage per second. But it's still, it's still pretty decent. As the Axe, thinking about, I think you can dominate this lane as the Axe, but it's gonna get harder and harder as not the TA, but Stoic, right? As the Tusk gets more levels, I think Tusk has one of the best toolkits for the laning phase. Snowball, Tag Team, as well as the Ice Shards, those are just absolute great abilities to have. You prevent escape, you initiate, you have overwhelming damage coming out at the back of that Tag Team, especially with the Meld and the Refraction. Or, I wouldn't say the DA even goes to the Refraction right now. It can just be melted through. Battle Hunger will just take out your Refraction anyway, so there's no point of skilling up that Refraction, but it gives you a lot of killing potential, right? Bonus damage coming at the back of that Tag Team, bonus damage with that Refraction. You apply all of that damage on this Axe or this Wind Ranger, and either of them should die. It's just a question of how do you want to play this lane, right? Do you want to have that much aggression, or do you want to prioritize your farming? As Stoic, he gets hit by the Battle Hunger once more, as well as the Berserker's Call. Has no Snowball, activates his Tag Team, but is surely to fall. And once again, Pandawa Lima get yet another kill on Carstensz. Stoic might just look for a play somewhere else on the map, as I will just increase the volume for myself here. Grish on the mid lane. Yesterday, he found solo kills on that mid side again and again. This time around, it's not going to be a solo kill. Although, I say it's not, but I don't really know. It shouldn't be a solo kill. This Ember should be able to hold his own. And, I mean, we should be having a decent enough time, I would say. But we'll see. GZ goes in, they use that Starbreaker, or rather that Celestial Hammer, to try and take out that Lone Druid, and they will be able to find it. GZ comes in with a Blood Grenade. However, it's a kill on Krish on that mid side. This Wind Ranger is finding kills left, right, and center for his team, both on that bot lane as well as on that mid side. But this Templar Assassin, he finds a bit of revenge. With Stoic, they're able to take down the Axe while the Wind Ranger rotated away. So the Carstensz do get a bit of something for their troubles. It's not going to be exactly a whole lot, but it is, you know, it is definitely something. And you kind of needed this, especially since Rim, he gets a double kill on that top lane. Emptiness and GZ both die at the back of that tombstone being committed. And this is kind of a disaster that's building up for Carstensz. I mean, they're just not able to get much done, quite frankly. The kill on the axe is great and all, but it's also, you know, kind of, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like Carstensz. Okay, let's see how this plays works out. They want to make a play on Monza. The blast off comes in, but the fear comes out from the Lone Druid. And now with the Wind Ranger coming in, there's a shackle shot on Jeezy. He's gonna go down. Emptiness now, nowhere to really go, being body blocked by that Templar Assassin as a pause comes out from Carstensz. And I do not think this Dawnbreaker is surviving. I don't think he has anywhere to really go. So, oh my. I mean, we'll see, right? But I don't think this Dawnbreaker is surviving. I think this Dawnbreaker is pretty much just going to die here. A very painful death, I might add. Okay, Celestial Hammer, its AoE is gonna stop. Now the Lone Druid is very low, and he did just summon the Spirit Bear. So maybe Emptiness has some kind of a play. His Starbreaker is coming off of cooldown, so he can look to turn, especially with the magic stick available. Power Shot slows him down. Wind Ranger in trouble. The Starbreaker lands on 2, and he throws out that Celestial Hammer, but unable to withdraw it. And that means the Wind Ranger will survive. It will be 7 kills on the board for Pandawa Lima, and only 2 kills for Carstensz up so far. And sure, the Lone Druid Spirit Bear, it was very low, but they haven't been able to take it down. As the Axe, I mean, that he was the second kill. DNZ able to find 2 kills on the board. So I would say it's not that bad of a situation to be in, but it's not that great either. Now, the good thing for Carstensz is that they're leading the charts in terms of lost hits at the very least. At least for everyone except on that mid side, as the Ember Spirit is at the very top of the lost hit chart. He's about to maintain his position as he takes away 3 creeps, including the banner creep. So this Ember Spirit is going to be very farmed up. May not be as farmed as the rest of their team, who have, well, maybe not as farmed as the Wind Ranger. And interestingly, and this is a point that you do have to add, the net worth on these scores might not be that different between both of these two teams, irrespective of the skill feed that you see here. 2 to 7 might seem overwhelming for the 6 minutes of the game, but all of these kills, literally 100% of these kills, have just taken place from these supports and not any core from Pandawa Lima. As the blast off comes in, the Shrine of Wisdom contested by Carstensz, they will be able to take apart that Undying. They do lose Jeezy, and their Dawnbreaker is suffering. Sweet will end up with a triple kill on that Shrine of Wisdom position. They will secure the Shrine of Wisdom, both shrines to go the way of Pandawa Lima, and where I was just talking about how 7 of their kills, 100% of their kills were in the hands of their supports. Now 30% of their kills are going to be in the hands of that Ember Spirit, and that is going to be a bit of a difference, a big difference in fact, between the net worth of Krish, who has died already, compared to the Ember, who has just found 3 kills on the board. Amplify damage rune, blast off has missed by Jeezy. Ember Spirit is gonna come in and make sure that Jeezy is gonna be punished for this. Power shot comes in, thrown out by the Wind Ranger, and he's gonna be able to get a kill on Jeezy. I would say not that effective of a move coming up by either, or rather by Carstensz. They've already on Pandawa Lima built up to a 2,000 net worth advantage. As the Axe, he's gonna get hit by the attack team. They have 3 heroes around this position, but the Wind Ranger comes in with the power shot. The Solar Guardian does come in, and it's Monza in danger. True form is activated, but in the end, he is stuck in between the 4 heroes. The Mel Strikes start to come in, and Monza, he'll die. The Krish coming in with the rotation. Dream Coil planted down, and the Wind Ranger, he will lose his unstoppable streak, gives it away to Stoic, and that, in fact, is the entire lead that Pandawa Lima were building up. It gets washed as Carstensz find themselves with a counterplay, mitigating the pressure on that safe lane, at the same time picking up 3 kills, I believe. Let's just take a look at the skill fight recap. Quite a bit of gold. Of course, most of it going to Stoic, but that's okay. TA doing 2,000 damage in that position. 1,800 of it was dealt by that Solar Guardian, which was perfect, landing on that Lone Druid as well. 1,500 gold going their way, and 235 gold lost for Pandawa Lima is, I would say, honestly, a pretty good position to be in. Axe going in with the Berserker's Call, and they should be able to. Okay, there we go. They find the helixes. Counter helix. They should call it the counter spiral. They should call it the punches. They should call it something else. I wish there was a name we work for a lot of these abilities. Starbreaker. Why don't you just call it Hammer Down? You know, or something like that. The Ember Spirit goes in. TA is able to dodge away that power shot. Tag team comes in with a shackle shot, holds him down. And with the full fury of Pandawa Lima are here to take Stoic out too. With one sleight of fist, they're able to find that Tusk. And with so many of these heroes here, they should be able to find this tier 1 tower. It is going to possibly be a trade. There's a catapult available on for the Radiant side too, as the Wind Ranger comes back over on that mid side. But I don't think you can take away the pressure from this tower. Oh, turns out he can. He just wind runs away with the creep wave, and that tower should take out that catapult. So in the end, it will not be a trade. It will just be Pandawa Lima acquiring a bot lane tier 1 tower for free. Not exactly for free. They of course, suffer a bit of pressure, a bit of damage on their own tier 1 on that mid lane. Is down to less than 50% of its HP, while the Radiant tower, Krish's tower, is plenty healthy.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ember Spirit is able to find Jeezy. And I mean, the Carstensz are getting kind of run over here when we take a look at the net worth, and we should have taken a look at it much earlier. It's 5,500 for the Templar Assassin. Krish is going to melt. Trying to get to that Witchblade, carrying around a recipe. But all he is finding is a recipe for disaster on Carstensz. They are unable to mount up any significant pressure around this map. And it's just the side of Pandawa Lima who are honestly rolling over Carstensz right now. Sure, the Templar Assassin is at the very top, right alongside that Ember Spirit. So you will have that power spike coming in. You will have that Desolator. And I don't think they're in a desperate situation right now. I think Carstensz, honestly, sure, they're bleeding heroes. They're losing their lives. But you have to consider the power spikes that they will actually have. Their supports are level 6, the same as the Dire supports on Pandawa Lima. But when this Witchblade comes up and when the Desolator comes up, including the next set of items for the Blink, like the Blink Dagger for both the Puck as well as the TA, that is going to be the big point of contest. That is going to be when they are likely to be stronger than Pandawa Lima. It's just a question of how much can Pandawa Lima get done with their own Blink Dagger as they see their TA. They set their eyes upon that Templar Assassin. Solar Guardian is going to come in, but they are unable to protect DNZ. Krish will come in, uses that 3-man Dream Call as well as the Waning Rift with the axe. He's dropped down a Berserker's Call. It's now Krish in trouble as the Ember Spirit has the Searing Chains on Krish, who rotates away and backs off. Meanwhile, they take out the axe. Jay-Z again missing that blast off. Ember Spirit seems plenty healthy, has that Soul Rip coming in, but slowed down by both the Trap as well as that Celestial Hammer, will lose his Wicked 6 streak. It's the Undying trying to make his way out. Ice Shards are going to come back. Is Stoic going to land them? He will. And they should be able to take out that Undying too. A Shackle Shot though found by the Wind Ranger might just save the Undying's life as he seeks to turn this fight around. And it will be Stoic who will lose his life. Pretty extended team fight. They actually end the team fight in the same spot where they started the team fight. I call that a closed chapter in my book. I don't write many books. Oh, GC this time around, he finds a great blast off. Unfortunately, he has just given up his life for it. A blast off for that, you know, if GZ thinks that's worth it, I think that's worth it. Objectively, though, that might not be worth it. You know, you lose your tier 1 tower. You get a great blast off though. You can make a reel out of that. But that's pretty much all you can do with that. It is worth mentioning that while all of that was happening, and sure, when the Templar Assassin did die, he was the first one to actually die. He came back and just continued to farm, and now he has these big juicy ancient cap that is stacked for him with that Desolator. Should be able to take it out, and it's very close to his Blink Dagger. It's not as if Pandawa Lima have been able to disable this Templar Assassin in terms of how much he's able to farm. He still has as much as a TA normally has. In fact, maybe even a bit more. 8,500 on his net worth. 16 minutes in, has that Blink Dagger as well. Right, that is something to mention. Desolator plus a Blink Dagger up for DNZ. And I would say that Carstensz are not in that bad of a position. Pandawa Lima, they might have the Maelstrom, and Monza may just be able to make a Mjolnir very soon. Ember Spirit, 7,500. The Undying is going to be in trouble. Tag team there, Krish with the Witchblade, and again another Blink Dagger on the horizon. And dare I say it, even with the Ember Spirit, who is just rotating around the map, finding these kills, has that Spirit Vessel. The Axe has his own Blink Dagger and is going for that Blade Mail. Should have it pretty soon. I don't think that Pandawa Lima are ahead. Despite that scoreline, I actually think that Carstensz are in the more dominant position. They have that Desolator Blink that they've revealed to the other side, so that one is going to be a bit of a mistake. Even Krish reveals his Blink Dagger. So Pandawa Lima are unlikely to be caught unaware of the fact that there is that instant jump potential available from Carstensz. Or at least they shouldn't be surprised by that. Unless they're just not looking at the items of the other team. In which case, it's okay to be surprised. Sometimes you know, there are people who like surprises. I don't judge. I don't like surprises though. Especially the surprise of a Templar Assassin jumping on you with the Maelstrike. That surprise is something I would like to avoid if I was Pandawa Lima. The axe, he goes in. The puck is going to go out. Krish is dead. And the puck is unlikely to survive those kinds of initiations. The Wind Ranger thrown up into the air with the Walrus Punch. Snowball is enough to take him out, and DNZ lays in the damage. Solar Guardian is gonna come in as Carstensz lay the perfect trap, and Pandawa Lima fall for it. It's Stuis as well who is going to die. 4 heroes dead for just the one death of Krish. Voice lines coming out, tips coming out, but in the end, make no mistake about it, it is Carstensz now with the 2000 advantage. It is Carstensz who did execute a successful bait towards Pandawa Lima and now have 6 Desolator charges, have that Dragonlance built up for DNZ. And he is much further ahead than any of the cores from Pandawa Lima. Lone Druid may have that Mjolnir, is building up to that Aghanim Scepter, but oh, Monza, he got slowed down. Harpooned by the Dawnbreaker. Stoic is coming in, has that Walrus Punch, and DNZ with the Melt Strike might just be able to take out that bear. The Berserker's Call does provide a bit of protection for Monza, as it's now Emptiness in trouble. They seem to have turned it around, with the rest of Carstensz also coming flying in. The Lone Druid has lost its life. The Templar Assassin hoping to build up that front line, holding the keep it all together, but will be shackled by the Wind Ranger. In the end, Pandawa Lima are able to cross that barrier and, in fact, are able to find that Berserker's Call to take out Krish. Carstensz, they will lose the 3. They do find a Spirit Bear, so I consider that a hero kill at this point. Gives about 350 gold, that is enough. But they lost about 2,000 gold in that exchange. As they want to go for the Spirit Bear again, but the Savage Roar, it comes out. Interesting that the Savage Roar is not the Beastmaster's Roar, right? The Spirit Bear has a Savage Roar. The Beastmaster, who is a meta hero, who is a strong hero, only has a plain roar. Oh, GZ? Not too sure if that should be his position. You know, kind of seems really deep. Kind of seems like he should be perhaps a bit further back. But I think what he was expecting, surely he was expecting them to be in this Tormentor position. And so he was trying to build up some vision for that, some forward control, but that is not going to be possible. Tormentor picked up, Gale Force acquired, but Stoic, he goes in with the Walrus Punch. The Melt Strike fails to land as the Wind Run came out. Solar Guardian now going to come in. It's in a great position. Pandawa Lima are isolated. It's their heroes separated, but it's Suis who will go on forward. Stoic will drop. Krish has to disengage. And the Solar Guardian, the Dawnbreaker, Emptiness, he makes it out with that teleport. Not that bad, but it is a 1-for-1 exchange. They also find an Observer Ward. GZ is able to D-Ward. Was he able to find 2? He does. He finds 2. He finds around 390, more than 390 gold. 395, 393 gold, in fact. 2 Observers back-to-back. Also gets experience. That's almost as much as the hero kill itself. You know, GZ is level 11. 22-minute mark, not that bad. Considering, you know, all of this is considering the bad start they had, the horrible start they had. One of the worst starts that Carstensz have had this entire game. Or entire tournament. And Pandawa Lima are no strangers to having phenomenal starts. They did this to Direborn. That game number 2 against Direborn, this was the kind of start they had, just coming out with kills left, right, and center, putting pressure on Direborn as they are on Carstensz right now. And it does seem to come out once in a while where Pandawa Lima show significant effort or significant prowess in that early game capacity. That is the strength of Southeast Asian teams in general. Right now, though, GZ and Stoic are stuck. Krish is also kind of stuck here. I don't think Krish can make his way out. Has a Blink Dagger, uses the Illusory Orb. They will chase in after him. One Sleight of Fist will be enough. There is a Remnant available, but the Ember Spirit Suis will not go for it. Krish will just escape. Able to make it out. Oh, that's perfect. Krish finds that Dream Call and they come in with a Solar Guardian. Instantaneous initiation coming in from Carstensz as they head straight for the Roche Pit. There is the Axis Berserker's Call, but there's an Arcane Rune up for Krish. His Dream Call back up in 60 seconds. By the time the Ember makes his way to try and contest this, there's going to be yet another Dream Call waiting for him. And I don't think the Axe is going to try and contest this, as it should be a free Roshan for Carstensz. They will have the advantage once this Aegis drops to the deck, and it's picked up by DNZ. Lone Druid is actually doing a pretty good job at making sure that, you know, they're not too far behind. But the rest of their cores, I mean, they are maintaining their net worth in comparison to the Dawnbreaker and to the Puck. Both the Ember and the Axe aren't that far behind, and the Wind Ranger has certainly plenty of farm. I think Jarim, right? The Wind Ranger is in a very good position, I would say. Lone Druid dishing out the right clicks, but the Walrus Punch comes out. Snowball will take out that bear.
Dire are scanning.
Axe. He goes in with the Berserker's Call. Snowball save is there though. However, Pandawa Lima have 5 heroes in this position, and this Templar Assassin, DNC, is going to be overwhelmed. They need to come in. Jeezy is there with the blast off, but is he going to go in? Solar Guardian is going to come down against another Berserker's Call. Jeezy goes in with a 3-man blast off. Where is Krish? He needs to come in. Starts off with a 2-man Dream Call, takes out the Axe. But they've lost their TA, they've lost their carry. Jeezy next up on the menu. It's a Starbreaker on that bear as it falls, but the Ember continues to go on forward. Snowball save once again coming out by Stoic. It is Pandawa Lima who are so low, but Carstensz are even lower. Stoic will be the last casualty in this fight as Krish seeks to be the difference maker, will take out that Undying, but now with the Spirit Vessel burn on him, he has played too close to the fire. Suis will end up with a triple kill. 4,000 of a lead now for Pandawa Lima, and DNZ walked right into that one underneath an Observer Ward. He is going to get severely punished for it, loses his Aegis. A bungled play by Carstensz as they fail to recognize Pandawa Lima and their forward positions.
Top tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Axe disconnected, but he will reconnect into the game. The SRY comes out. Surreal, yes. I'm just getting it means sorry. Good to see etiquette coming out from both teams. Grish, though, he is significantly behind right now. And the Wind Ranger, for some reason, he's a core. Jaren will have an entire scythe of Weiss by the time that this heads to the 35 to 37 minute mark. Isn't that far off from it. I mean, he has the most expensive component, the Mystic Staff. Just needs about 600 gold, or rather even 500 gold for that Tiara of Selemene. And Scythe of Weiss will be built up after 700 gold. So I don't see how Krish is going to survive. I don't see how the Templar Assassin will survive. I don't see how anyone will actually live once this Wind Ranger has that Scythe of Weiss. He has turned out to be one of the most important heroes for Pandawa Lima. Not just in this game, but also against a series when they were playing against Direborn. Jarem has had a fantastic run with his team, and he has continued to impress me as Pandawa Lima continues their tournament run.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Shadowblade up for that Spirit Bear. There's a Walrus Sponge, but the axe, he goes in. Now it's just a Berserker's Call on that toss, but turns out to be enough. Stoic does die. Emptiness goes in towards that axe as DNZ goes all in. Lostov comes out, but Pandawa Lima, they are healthy. GZ's remote mines deal plenty of damage, though as Kresh, he went in, but gets stunned. Once again, the Ember ends up with a double kill, and Pandawa Lima, they drop low, but not low enough. That is going to be the full Scythe of Weiss for Jaren. And Leon, he has the Aghanim Shard save that he just displayed. Whoever does get jumped is still going to survive. And now Pandawa Lima, they have the advantage. They have a 9,000 net worth advantage in this game. It's turning out to be quite the successful game for them.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Acts like this very much.
Oh, Solar Guardian to protect Krish as Monza, his Spirit Bear, was chasing in after him, and this is going to happen again and again as it now is in possession. Monza Spirit Bear with a Silver Edge. This is the item that has tilted many a pro players. This is the item that has made Ahmed GG out of Dream League. As it continues to wreak havoc across tier 1, across tier 2, across tier 3. This Spirit Bear. You now have that Scythe of Weiss finally built up for Jarem, so these initiations by Krish, these counterplays by Krish, I don't think they're going to work out so well, as Krish is going to be able to survive, does jaunt away, and they will manage to find that Spirit Bear. I do think they have enough damage for him. Dust activated by GZ. Stoic almost dies. But they do find the Spirit Bear, instantly resummoned though, as it's back now heading towards that mid side. A 3 or 4-man smoke comes out. As they go for the Spirit Bear again, it was just resummoned, so if they're able to take it down, this could be massive. Ice Shard to hold them back, but they come in. Axe goes in with the Berserker's Call. DNZ is simply going to melt. Has no BKB available. GG will die, Stoic will die, and it's Emptiness again trying to find his teleport out, but there is the reveal by Jeff for Jaren's Scythe of Weiss. They will hold back the Dawnbreaker as he does apply some damage. Can he take this axe out? No, Olivie will just come in with a Tombstone save. Chris unable to find anything apart from a Wind Ranger, and now with the Berserker's Call planted down on Chris, this will be a full team wipe by Pandawa Lima. Axe will end up with a triple kill. Leon on a dominating streak. All that for a Spirit Bear, as Carstensz are sure to ban out that Lone Druid next time around. I think the Lone Druid does not belong in Captain's mode. I think the Lone Druid is... I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about the Lone Druid as a hero. Like, the Spirit Bear just seems too strong of a unit to actually have. There's no equivalence. There's no comparison between the Spirit Bear and any other unit in the game. Right? That's the thing. It also comes with zero risk ratio. Like, what's the risk with the Spirit Bear charging in towards the other side, roaming around the map? Even if it gets caught, you give what? At 35 to 40 minutes of the game, you give 350 gold? That's nothing. That's a creep wave. That's 5 seconds of time for the Templar Assassin. Or Krish, or any of these other cores. You know, the risk for someone else, the risk for a hero doing that is that you give away way more gold and then you're going to be down for about a minute or so. But the Lone Druid doesn't have that same kind of risk. The Lone Druid just resummons the bear. So, I mean, we'll see.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Walrus Punch once again by Stoic. They want to take out Olivie from the very get-go. Solar Guardian is going to come down, but Olivie, he is going to fall. Ceaseless Dirge is going to activate, so he's right back into it. DNZ has gone down. Not a worth it exchange for Carstensz at all. Krish, inside of the phase shift, will be able to jaunt away. No, he can't. Leon will intercept. Take out that puck. As it's now going to be GZ. Stuck in a corner. Called down by the axe. Pandawa Lima now with 3 heroes having taken out 3 heroes. They will now head for that high ground. Having found an easy opening, Emptiness activates his BKB but rooted down. The Ember Spirit also comes in, but Emptiness should be able to make it back to his fountain. Stoic, no Walrus kick available. Can't kick someone into the fountain. Unfortunate, but he is a support, of course. And unlike the Wind Ranger, who's had a fantastic game, Carstenz's supports have not. Carstenz's cores have not. Templar Assassin was the only one who was getting something, but now is 5,000 net worth behind that Lone Druid. And it doesn't really feel like this game is going to... We're going to have a comeback in this game. It kind of looks like Carstensz have just lost this one and will have to go back to the drawing board. Perhaps they're already thinking about what they need to do differently. And I imagine one of the things that is on their mind is just making sure the Lone Druid doesn't make its entry into that second game. Or that you pick it up yourself. One of the two. Snowball comes in. Tusk is going to be taken out. Solar Guardian comes down too, and Emptiness will back away. Krish, two-man Dream Call over on that backline. The Wind Ranger might actually die. No, once again, Olive comes in with the Tombstone save, keeping his support going. And now Pandawa Lima, they will push back at Carstensz. It's Jeezy who will lose his life. Monza Spirit Bear is continuing the chase on forward with Stoic. Shackle shot it down. Sent up into the air with his own use, and unlikely to live in this position. It's also Krish who is in trouble. Will have that illusory orb. Jaunts away, but they chase in after him. Shackle shot thrown out, and even though it doesn't land, Krish doesn't really have anywhere to go. Hexed up as soon as he phase shifts, or rather blinks away. Wind Ranger at the perfect crossroads. It's also going to be Jeezy. Blast off away. He bobbed back into this, but is unlikely to change the dynamic or the fate of Carstensz in this fight. They will lose 4 of their heroes, actually several times over, and they will also give up Roshan, the second Roshan of the game. They're down 2 lanes of barracks. It's a 27,000 disadvantage, 40 minutes in, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to defend. They might as well save the momentum, save the mentals, and just go for a game number 2, but unlikely that they will tap out. They aren't a team that give up super easily. They will most likely attempt to still take one more team fight, but that is all they'll be able to get, right? It's I do think that we're now at the stage where you're going to look for a Hail Mary play, and if you're not able to get it done, you instantly tap out. That's pretty much where we are at right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Butterfly available for the Spirit Bear.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Stoic goes in with the wall response. Monza's bear doesn't care. Even if you take out the bear once, he still has that resummon. Free of cost buyback, essentially, right? That is what it is. As Mega Creeps have been acquired, they will go for Monza's Spirit Bear. They will be able to take it out as a Berserker's Call comes in in response. Emptiness hexed down, but they will not really make a play. Pandawa Lima have acquired what they wanted. They found the Mega Creeps and will just go back. And now will likely execute in a surprise initiation from one of the 3 lanes they have access to. Monza sent up into the air. Solar Guardian is going to be coming down as Emptiness. He has whiffed that one. It's a Berserker's Call on Stoic and Pandawa Lima. They have the Shackle Shot. They have the Disables. They will be able to take him down. Krish throws out a 2-man Dream Coil, and again, Olive with the save. Monza Spirit Bear takes out Jeezy and also takes out the Puck. Carstensz only have 2 heroes remaining in this position. A Shackle Shot on Emptiness, he'll die. Culling Blade on DNZ, and GG will be the call. Carstensz lose game number 1, and Pandawa Lima secure it in spectacular fashion.
Dire victory.
This is what Pandawa Lima did to Direborn. This is the early game potential available from Pandawa Lima, but the question is, how will they perform when they are the ones behind? Right, that has always been the Achilles heel for many Southeast Asian teams. That is something that perhaps Pandawa Lima are not that strong with, as I've witnessed it in this tournament run so far and earlier iterations of Southeast Asian tournaments where Pandawa Lima has competed in. But It's we'll have to see. Maybe they won't be behind, right? There's always the possibility that Pandawa Lima are going to have that consistent performance coming in by their supports, and maybe Carstensz are going to have a run for their money, right? But unlikely to have that Spirit Bear come out once more. So what is Pandawa Lima? What kind of tricks do they have up their sleeve? What kind of other carries do they have that are strong and not just relying on a broken carry? But at the end of the day, they did play the game much better, right? They found the pickoffs, they found Krish multiple times, they found the right way to take those team fights, despite some of the earlier team fights not really working out for them. But without further ado, guys, we'll be heading to a short break before we find out who is going to take this series. Is it going to be Pandawa Lima who will sweep Carstensz under the rug, or is it Carstensz who will take Pandawa Lima to a game number 3? We will be right back with Crin Station to find out the answers to those questions. This is your host, Doltrus, and I hope that you will stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to the Green Station Lunar Horse Trophy Season number 8, Pandawa Lima versus Carstensz, who are going to be going at it for that game number 2. And I would add that Pandawa Lima, I mean, they had the early game in the bag. Like, that was a fantastic performance coming in by Pandawa Lima. Carstensz, they haven't banned out that lone druid. It is ironically Pandawa Lima who did ban it out, right? You should be afraid of the other side picking up a lone druid after what Pandawa Lima just did with their own spirit bear coming in from Monza. Carstensz, though, they do have an Enigma in their side as well as the Ancient Apparition, so maybe we will see some wombo combo coming out with the Black Hole as well as the Ice Blast, and then they have some fire added in with the Ice, Laguna Blade, and not to mention the Light Strike Array that can be comboed up within that Black Hole. And including the cogs. So they certainly have a lot of synergy with the Black Hole, but Pandawa Lima, they don't necessarily have to play in a way that they get hit or struck by that Black Hole. They have two backlines supports with the Disruptor and the Snapfire. They have the Necrophos who can be on that front line, and the Mars with the Spear that can ideally cancel out that Black Hole very easily. Now for Pandawa Lima, this should be a Necro carry, so I do wonder who they'll play on that mid lane. As Carstensz, they're not sure whether the Snapfire is on the mid side or not, as they make sure to ban out that Rubik because of that Enigma. But if I was Pandawa Lima, I would think that, well, the puck's not available in the pool. Carstensz, they have the Void banned against them as well as the Lifestealer. Both of those two heroes are great against the arena. Lifestealer not that good against the Necrophos though. You can't just get hit by the Scythe when you're outside of the Rage. But it's also going to be a struggle for Carstensz to keep this Lina alive. The one Death Seeker coming in from the Necrophos, and the Reaper Scythe on the Lina, he is going to die. As Carstensz, they pick up the Shadow Fiend, and it does seem like a pretty good, I would say, pick in this scenario. You know, just have the right clicks down, not to mention the Yashakaya build in this game, not that bad with the Enigma's Black Hole, but you don't want to put all of your chips in one basket, or rather all of your eggs in one basket. Chips, eggs, don't want to put anything in that one basket, right? You want to have multiple baskets and assorted into different, depending on your assortment of things. Pandawa Lima, they see the entire lineup of Carstensz. What are they going to be picking up for their own team? That is going to be the big question.
Sniper. Choose your hero. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
microphone sometimes stops working, but I have reconnected it and it works. So as I was saying, Pandawa Lima, they go for the sniper on their lineup. And I mean, it's a decent sniper pick, but I'm just wondering why they went for the sniper in the first place. Is it because of the Lina? Or are they afraid of Krish on that mid lane? I would be too, but it doesn't seem like it's a super fantastic pick. Now, what it clearly suggests is that they might actually be afraid of that black hole, maybe a little bit. As I will
Prepare
tune
for
in the
battle.
logos. They have to be switched around, so you'll have to give me a moment to do that. There we go. The logos are also in. I do think that this mid lane pick, this sniper, you do have the frontline potential coming in by that Necro, as well as the Mars. You have that backline support, and then you have a mid lane or a mid range right
30
clicker.
seconds to battle.
Oh, good use of the Smoke of Deceit. So they might actually think on Carstensz that there's an observer ward on that part of the map, even though there isn't. So now you can place an observer ward on the mid lane right next to their observer ward as Azor gets his smoke broken. It is Stoic who is going to be slowed down with that blood grenade. Shield crash, or rather the rebuke, will also land, and it's going to be a glimpse skilled up by the disruptor just to be able to secure the kill. They should give it to a core, and it will be Monza who will secure it. So pretty good exchange, I would say, for them. The only downside is that you now have a glimpse on the disruptor, so he won't have that thunder strike to secure the range creep with. He won't have the harass tool available, and Stoic is coming in. Cold feed is not there, so Monza will just teleport back into his lane, takes in a bit of right click damage, but not really too significant. I think Monza's pretty much going to be fine there. Playing into an Enigma and a Clockwork. It's not as if the Necrophos is under threat of much here. He has that Ghost Shroud, so at the very least he can just escape, but Jeezy will land the cogs, at least a few, and he knows that there is no Thunder Strike by this Disruptor, so you can play aggressive for this level 1 mark if you want to. Are they going to do that? That's something entirely different. At the end of the day, you're still going to take in the right click damage as Monza. I mean, speaking of right click damage, he takes quite a bit. It is... also the fact that this bot lane is hard to get much done in. Right, if you're Carstensz, as although GZ he goes in, Malefist drop down on Monza. He does use that Ghost Shroud and has the magic wand, does take in damage as GZ won't be able to get that last right click, and in fact GZ is going to be glimpsed back. A few last right clicks would do the trick as GZ, he is going to fall in emptiness. He might not be able to get this kill, does have that Malefist, so will be able to find it, but over on that top side, Leon took down that Shadow Fiend. So Carstensz, they do lose the 2 for just the 1 they're able to find. Leon misses his spear, and with the SF coming back into the lane, he'll find that 1 raise. Stoic just needs 1 more of his little freezes, but in fact, he's gonna get hit by the rebuke, as it will be a trade. I think the Shadow Fiend should be able to find the kill on the Snapfire. It is a 1-for-1, but only after the Shadow Fiend did actually, in fact, die. So it is 4-for-2 as far as the kill feed is concerned, and it's a pretty back and forth lane as far as the top side is. As far as the top side goes, Snapfire plus a Mars, great combo. It's one of the classical combinations, right? Snapfire plus a Mars, Hoodwink plus a Mars. You have a setup for your spells, which goes both ways. The Snapfire can set up for the Mars, and the Mars can set up for the Snapfire. That is what makes this lane so incredibly dangerous for Carstensz. But they do have plenty of damage, as Rim did die over on that bot side. Leon is going to spear back the Shadow Fiend, but needs to be careful. There is a triple raise available for DNZ, and that is why the Mars will in fact just get back. Mars takes in quite a bit of damage. Ooh, almost was raised down. Will survive. I imagine. Emptiness. Thunderstrike is on him. I don't think he's gonna die. GZ though, he will find a fair bit of pushback with his cogs. We haven't really taken a look at that mid lane, as it's really, I mean, there's not too much to look at. It's a sniper versus the Lina. Both heroes with high amount of attack range, so that means neither hero is actually going to close any kind of gap. It is Jarim who does find the Observer Ward, so at the very least they do have an advantage for the incoming power rune, but Chris should just bring in an Observer Ward from his own side. Monza gets taken out over on that bot lane. This is less than ideal for Pandawa Lima, as the Necrophos really shouldn't be dying here, but I mean he does, so that's kind of whatever. Oh, Snapfire finds a kill on Krish. The mid kill being a big one, I think, as it's, you know, Krish has had phenomenal performances throughout the tournament, but this day has not been his. This day, he just yesterday, he found solo kills on that mid lane. Today, he seems to be struggling. Now, he is getting, you know, ganked over on that mid side, so there is definitely that aspect. Ancient Apparition plus the Shadow Fiend making a rotation towards that bot lane, as GZ gets chased down here. We'll have the cogs in about 3 seconds, so it might just be the Disruptor in trouble. Blood Grenade is sent out. GZ likely to fall here with that one last Thunderstrike coming in, and both Stoic as well as DNZ might just go back, as DNZ has already made his way back. GZ's death disables any kind of a situation build up there, and so pretty much even Steven. Last hits from the sniper is Azure is quite impressive. As far as his last hits are concerned, he has 18 denies on that mid side, 36 CS compared to Krish's 27. Picks up an illusion rune too,
Radiant structures are fortified.
and should just look to apply as much damage on this tower as you can with your illusions. Drops down that shrapnel to make quick work of that creep wave. But Monza is struggling. He has already died over here, and they look to make a play on Krish once more. Scatterblast comes in. Krish will not get hit by the cookie though. Might just survive. The Assassinate has no more mana. Burnt away by the cogs coming in from JZ, so very well done by that Clockwork. And again, bot lane, DNZ is here as well to take this tower out, and they should be able to find it. Again, this was the exact same scenario that happened last game, except the roles are reversed.
Tower has fallen.
Azure wants to be able to take this tower down, but it is low, but not low enough for Azure to stick with his little rifle. 3,300 net worth in for the Shadow Fiend, 3,200 for the Enigma,
Radiant's bottom tower
and
is under attack.
Observer Ward gets taken out. Ooh. Oh, DNZ, he falls for the second time. He's still at the very top of the net worth chart. Again, like the Templar Assassin, he has a lot of farm 46 CS. He also had 2 kills, so I'm sure that also plays a part in it. But not that good of an exchange around the map. I would say that Pandawa Lima are in a decent position. Not that great, though. As the Shadow Fiend teleports back in, DMZ saw the Snapfire. And Jarim should get back over here. He doesn't want to be stuck in between of a Clockwork and a Shadow Fiend. And he will be able to find his way out. You have an arena, but it's on cooldown right now for about 50 seconds. So you need to wait for that one. And the one hero that does need to recover is Monza, right? Absolute terrible lane. He's had the Enigma and, you know, Emptiness and GZ shut him down completely. And it's going to be a very slow journey to his recovery. He wants to get to that Radiance, but this will be a very late Radiance for the Necrophos. And if you can get it by that 15 to 16 minute mark, it's still okay. But it doesn't seem like he'll have it by that timing. Right, he's level 5 compared to a level 7 Enigma as Azor takes out GZ. And you do have 2 carries in this game for Pandawa Lima. I think the same can be said for Carstensz. They have the Lina.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Mars is here. Snapfire is here too. And I don't think they're going anywhere. But it's all 3 heroes, nearly all 3 heroes from Carstensz who are at the top of the net worth chart. Right, so they're in a fantastic position. There's not too many kills happening around the board. And it is partly because Pandawa Lima did not go for those flashy pick-off oriented heroes, right? They've gone for a farming game. Outside of their offlane. Their offlane still has a lot of skill potential. But mid lane Sniper, you're going to be farming. Necrophos in the most of the early to mid game, you're going to be farming away. Right, so it's not as if they have too many options to make a move. Carstensz do though. They have a Lina with a Laguna Blade. They have the Ice Blast, which is going to be thrown out, but it's unfortunately not going to do anything. Arena committed to try and get the kill, and they will be able to find it. However, it will still be a return kill found by... Oh, Requiem. It gets sent out. Teleport is there in time. Mars is not going to be disabled from it, but it's a Static Storm as well as the Sniper with the right clicks, and they're able to find the kill on Krish. He tried to come in to assist the Shadow Fiend in a kill or two, but unable to do more than just get the kill exchange on Jarim. As bot lane, they are on the hunt for the Necrophos. He's just unfortunately, for Carstensz, not there. Monza is farming up in the jungle while the Sniper is on that top side applying pressure towards your tier 1 tower. And if you're GZ on the Clockwork, you should be here to back up your team. You shouldn't be there on that bot lane. What are you doing there? Like, no one's coming. And he's just standing still, hoping for someone to show up so he can make a play.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Spear is going to be sent back as... Ooh, Gay Stoic will fall. Krish, he is going to be sent back with that glimpse.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They also find the glimpse on GZ, who manages or misses his hook shot. I thought he would have actually found it there, but maybe the Enigma moved away. The towers have been equalized. The mid lane tower is particularly healthy for... And the top lane tower is quite healthy for Pandawa Lima, but for Carstensz, that bot lane tower hasn't taken a single point of damage. or actually has taken in 6 points of damage. But the mid lane tower is very low on Carstens's side, and it should be broken through by the sniper, who doesn't have the Dragon Lance, but still has enough range to poke that tower without getting hit back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
Ooh, Necrophos takes out Jeezy. As the black hole is going to be committed on Leon, Mortimers start to fly out, but it's not going to help their Mars. Emptiness even sends out a tip. Money and bones sent out in response. But it's money for the Enigma and bones in place of the Mars. Ooh, Snapfire gets taken out by Jeezy. Shadowfiend has the Yashakaya and isn't looking for a Blink Dagger quite just yet. DNC should ideally get that one. Emptiness has his own Blink Dagger as well as a Spirit Vessel, so didn't really go for the Drums of Endurance that I thought he would. Pairs up really nicely with the Tranquil Boots movement speed, and then you can also build up a Boots of Bearing after that, so might have been the right item to go for. But you have the Blink Dagger up for Leon. Azor is also there with the Maelstrom. They cast that Shadowfiend. They missed the spear though. Requiem will be sent out in response. Ice Blast is going to come in, and it will be the Mars who will lose his life. DNZ will still drop, but that was a big mistake being committed by Leon. It's a Reaper Scythe drop down on Stoic. He will be the second casualty as Mortimers fly out towards Jeezy. Sniper will be able to hold his position as you also don't lose anyone else. Idolins won't be able to take out Olivie, as he should be okay here. Fire Snap Cookie will make sure of that. And where was Krish? Okay, Krish, he's right here in front of us. Krish trying to find the kill, but unfortunately he only found the kill on Olivie and wasn't able to take down the Snapfire. And that means he gave his life up for nothing, essentially. Krish, a bit too late to the party. It was already over. Everyone has gone home. And that means it's a 4 for 2. Just not good enough. Again, for Carstenz's lineup, they gave away way too much of the Necrophos, who was completely disabled, but now he's right back. 15-minute radiance isn't that bad for the Necrophos, considering the kind of game he's had. It's not even that late, considering an overall normal game of Dota, right? Ideal is obviously that 13-minute mark that you want to target, but 15 minutes? Hey, you're going to be able to make up for it if you get 2,000 gold right at the back of, of getting that radiance eventually. So, level 12 hit by the Necrophos, he's going to be able to farm up that Ancient Camp, accelerate his farm with this radiance. And this is now troublesome for the side of Carstensz. They need to find better team fights if they are going to pick these team fight oriented heroes. Observer Ward placed down by Jaren immediately gets taken out. Black Hole is going to be wasted as Emptiness gets glimpsed out of the arena. blunders being committed by Pandawa Lima. However, they keep all of their heroes alive, so who am I to say that was a mistake? It might even in fact be a kill on Jeezy as the Reaper Scythe comes out by Monza. And that is a kill in the end. A save is a save, regardless of how you achieve it, or even if it looks shaky towards the start. Krish is waiting for Olivie, who walks on forward, but somehow Olivie is able to drop down that Static Storm. Necro will come in with a Ghost Shroud, and Krish will lose his life. He should have immediately stunned down that Disruptor. Stoic also to get assassinated. The Heart Stopper aura is burning him down, but somehow Stoic has made a Blink Dagger on an Ancient Apparition. This is what a lot of teams go for when they do pick an AA. I would say it's a very rare of a pick, so we don't get to see what the meta pick, itemization for the AA is. But essentially, you want to go for the shotgun Ice Blast, right? You don't want to play that long range Ice Blast sitting in the base, throwing out your Ice Blast for the maximum AoE. You don't need that. You just need to blink in, pop the Ice Blast in shotgun range, close range, and just make sure you land it on 1 or 2 heroes, and you're pretty much good. And in this game, you have that Black Hole, you have the Light Strike Array, you have the Requiem. Carstensz aren't using that, right? they're unable to actually commit to those kinds of plays, but that's the idea behind their lineup. That's the idea behind these hero picks. Execution, or rather intention and successful execution, are two very different things in the game of Dota. As often at times, things go very wrong, as they have for Carstensz quite a few times in this game, but they're not that far behind, right? They might be able to find something, as Krish, hunting with the Aghanim Scepter, also has the Arcane Rune, so if he pops the Arcane, uses the Laguna Blade, it's only going to be barely a 30-second cooldown, maybe even less, but I mean 30 is good enough. Leon goes in with the spear. They have the Scatter Blast. Krish is now stuck inside of the arena, inside of the Static Storm. There are no right clicks coming in towards Krish though, so he might just be able to walk away. Light Strike Array will miss as he gets glimpsed back, spear back, and scythed down. He's still alive, but Azure will assassinate him, make sure that he dies. It is Carstensz once again who lose the 2, aren't able to find anything in response, and their Shadow Fiend is not here. He doesn't even have that Blink Dagger, has made his BKB though. So I suppose DNZ will at the very least be able to fight back, even if he doesn't fight hard. You can have a guaranteed Requiem out though. I suppose it's a good thing. Azure though is a pure right click build on the sniper, and the Necrophos is killing hard as well, so I'm not too sure about what Carstensz will have as far as their moves are concerned. Krish is slow on his reactions in this game. Maybe the Lina isn't just his type of hero, but and the bar that I hold for Krish, right? The expectations that I hold for Krish are much higher than his performance in this game right now. Is the thing. It's not that he's playing bad, it's just that he could be playing much better compared to his potential, compared to what he showed us, like quite literally just yesterday. Maybe it's just a bad day, maybe it's just one of those days, and that's okay. You've secured your playoff, so okay, Stoic. It's also Leon who engages upon Krish towards that backline. Olivie has that Static Storm, is holding it for now. DNZ is just getting right click down by Azure. Everyone is really. Jeezy able to dish out the right clicks, might be able to take out Azure is able to take out Jeezy. DNZ is waiting in for the Requiem, throws it out. As they are waiting, Mortimer's will fly out as DNZ is just out of here. So is Krish, so is Emptiness. All 3 cores from Carstensz disengage after losing both supports, and they will give up the Tormentor. It is a very good Tormentor game, regardless of who it goes on, either Olivie or Jerem, who really cares. Fire Slam Cookie upgrade, Glimpse upgrade, or rather Thunderstrike upgrade. Or no, actually, it's a Kinetic Fence upgrade. Okay. I suppose. Krish? On the hunt again. I don't think. Okay, that last trickery was. I don't even know. He's gonna get glimpsed back. Although GZ found the perfect disruption, unfortunately, Monza has his scythe. Will just take out Krish as the hits start to fly out from the sniper. Mars also able to pick up the kill on GZ as the ancient apparition blinks away. And if Krish is having this kind of a game, I'm not sure what the chances are for Carstensz to be able to mount up the win.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Roshan is going to fall. Shadow Fiend has that Blink Dagger. Ice Blast gets sent out. Roshan has fallen down. Stoic, also the one in trouble. I mean, Assassinate comes out, takes away most of his life here. 5,000 of a lead now. Aegis in their hands. Pandawa Lima, this is their game to win, and by extension also their game to lose. Frankly, it's
Dire's top tower is under
you do have a Blink Dagger up for DNZ. I just don't know where the comeback is gonna come from if Krish isn't able to plant down those setups. Right, he's not able to get those stuns. So is it supposed to be emptiness with the BKB? Having that full duration black hole, at least until he doesn't die. Oh, that is the perfect initiation. Fire Snap Cookie on Azor. He will lose his Aegis, and now it's a desperate situation to save your sniper, who is going to get caught by that black hole. Mortimers fly out as a Static Storm also comes out, but Carstensz, they have taken the sniper out. Reaper Scythe by Monza will take out that Shadow Fiend, but in the end, Monza will himself fall. GZ on that back line, making sure that the Snapfire doesn't have a perfect way out. It will be the Mars who will also go down. 3 heroes are dead. Krish now charging on forward. Should be able to find the kill on the Snapfire, whose teleport does get disabled. Scatterblast though on Stoic. As Carstensz, they do lose 4 heroes. Jarim also blinks away. Krish unable to secure any additional kills, but I would say that is the best fight that Carstensz have gotten all game long. It's not even a successful team fight win, because it's only really Krish who gets anything out of that fight. 1,300 gold. He got, I believe, the streak on Monza, but the Shadow Fiend only got about 100 gold there and barely any experience. It's not that great. The only thing is, for Pandawa Lima, it's pretty bad because you lost your sniper from the very get-go. That was the Aegis in his hands. They thought he'd be pretty safe, so he was on that front line, and they couldn't protect him. And then even the Necrophos didn't really get too much there. But it's also the power spikes for Pandawa Lima, which might put them ahead, right? Sniper, even though he doesn't have the biggest of power spikes right now, you do have Monza with the Heart of Tarask almost at the ready soon. Oh, GZ. He's dead. GZ is dead. Emptiness activates his BKB. I suppose just wanted to guarantee the kill on Olivie, as that means that they won't be able to go forward on Pandawa Lima. They'll just have to get back. And I suppose getting back isn't too bad. You have the tier 1 tower to fall back to. You don't have to go way too far back.
Scanning.
Jeezy is uses rocket flare, and I believe they caught a whiff of the clockwork. He does have his cogs, but in the end, it's a simple spear. And now you don't have Jeezy. You still do have that black hole as well as that Requiem. So Carstensz, if they find the right initiation at any point in this game, 5,000 of elite is nothing that they can't overcome. I do believe the courier spotted out Krish. Leon, he goes in with the arena. Krish now in trouble. Emptiness will go in for the black hole. It's also going to be the Requiem that gets sent out. Both Azor as well as Leon will lose their lives. But Monza, he wants to continue chasing on forward. It's DNZ who gets glimpsed back and is unlikely to make his way out. Hit by the Reaper's scythe and taken out. Still though, I will add that Carstensz, they find more in that team fight simply because of how far ahead that sniper is. 2,000 gold going their way, and 1,000 gold once again going in the pockets of Krish. You do need a refresher to scale on this Enigma. I think you need a refresher on the Shadowfiend as well. Like, you may not want to go for the physical damage build at all this game. But what's this? What is this, Olivie? He has an Aghanim Scepter on the Disruptor. Suddenly, this changes the entire dynamic of the game because this Disruptor is going to be massively impactful. You can prevent the BKB from ever coming out if you're able to land that Static Storm. You can disable everything by yourself. Krish's BKB, Shadowfiend's BKB, disable the Requiem, disable the Black Hole, disable whatever you want at the back of your Static Storm. Even though it is going to be your Snapfire disabled, try to heal him with the Death Seeker as well as the Death Pulse, but they won't be able to. At the very least, they'll be able to find Jeezy as well as Stoic. It is a 2-for-1 exchange, not that bad for Pandawa Lima, as Emptiness will disconnect. And we'll have to wait for him to reconnect into the game. And we are waiting now. Waiting for the moment of truce. Or moment of truth. There is a moment of truce also makes sense, I will say. But there is no truce to be had in a Dota game. No one is ever going to call a truce in a Dota game. Although I would actually think that that adds in a bit of spice, you know, a bit of entertainment factor, enjoyment factor. You know, imagine in a Dota game where the teams decide to call a truce where, you know, no pickoffs for the next 2 minutes, for something like that. No one's going to go Roshan for the first 20 minutes of the game. You know, I think that aspects like that, sure, it's a gray area, but I don't know. Like, I kind of think that you should be able to decide things like that. You know, say both teams are playing a 4 protect 1 strategy, and they want to see who farms better and who wins that late game, right? So you say no pickoffs for the first 10 or 15 minutes. That might be too absurd, right? But in my head, the way that I imagine it, it's like it adds in, it develops the meta further. It changes the dynamic. It changes how you approach things. Now, of course, the problem is that opens up the pathway for bad actors to come in and ruin the whole thing, right? That's the real problem with that, and it's an unavoidable problem, which is the reason that it's never going to happen. But I wish that some things like that would, because things like that are only possible in Dota, in a MOBA, right? It's not possible in any other game because, for example, Counter Strike, you kind of have to win the round, right? In Rainbow Six Heroes, Rainbows in Rainbow Six, right? You kind of have to win the round. In Rocket League, you kind of have to score goals. In MOBA, you have a story that takes place in the duration of a typical of 36 60 minutes, where you have like uh, those kinds of stories are very entertaining, and you can do a lot with the story, right? You can design a story. Um, like you already design a story by how you play, right? By how you farm, how you make pickoffs, how you make rotations, how your lanes go, what items you make, what items you don't make, what spells you don't use, what spells you miss and what spells you land, as we've seen in this game already. The comeback potential, the comebacks that you are able to achieve, how you defend high ground, whether you defend high ground or take a fight outside of the base, go for a risky play, Roshan contest, Aegis steals. All of those are elements of a story in a game of Dota, and I don't know. You can enable it a lot, in my opinion. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think as well in the chat. Um, do you think that would make it entertaining? Or do you think that it's just the potential for it to be abused and exploited is just way too much for it to ever be possible, even if the idea itself behind it is, entertaining? As what's this? It's a Carstensz sticker. I see a Carstensz sticker on the ground, planted by Krish. That's very interesting. As we are still waiting.
Money and bones! Money and bones! Money and bones! Money and bones!
And we're still waiting. Hopefully, there isn't too big of an issue. $182 right leg damage by the Cena, plus 24 bonus damage coming in. It's not the highest, it's not the lowest either. As
Money and bones! Money and bones!
What weathermancery is this? Oh, that's no good.
I do hope that everything is okay.
Are you okay?
In the sense that there could be a power cut, there could be an internet issue, there could be various reasons why the Enigma isn't back. I've never actually costed the game in which a player hasn't been able to come back. I have seen games where that has happened. I've actually I think I've only seen it once or twice where a game has to be continued 4v5. But this isn't one of those games. You need the black hole, right? That's their only avenue to actually win a fight, and the Enigma will reconnect. Emptiness is back in the game, and we should be resuming into it. Go call has come out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Tier 2 tower
Dire's
also
structures
in
are
trouble.
fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
What a bounty!
And the Necro at this point is becoming too big to fail. Krish has a Blink Dagger, so does GZ. They have two Blink Daggers made simultaneously. And that is a big power spike. When you have multiple Blink Daggers come out at the same time, it's, you know, the enemy has no way to expect that. And it seems like Pandawa Lima are not going to be able to expect what's coming towards them. They are inside the smoke of the seed themselves. Krish picks up the illusion rune. Arena comes out, but the spear has missed. BKB activated by the Mars. Nice Strike Array hasn't landed either, as the Mortimers will push back at Carstensz. Glimpse is going to come in towards GZ, who's going to be held in a static field. Assassinate is going to take out that Clockwork. And they should have seen his Blink Dagger. Snapfire sees Krish. Is he gonna blink on forward inside of the triangle? Plants down an observer ward to actually sees Stoic, who's just dead. Krish, he goes in, wants to take out that sniper, might be able to find Azor, is able to do it. Black hole comes out by Emptiness. DNC goes in with a Requiem, and Carstensz will wipe the floor with Pandawa Lima. Snapfire will take out Stoic, but that is damage control, and the damage could not be controlled there. It is the side of Carstensz who will find 4 entire heroes. Even if they do have a dieback on that ancient apparition, at the end of the day, they only lost their supports. And this is now going to be Carstensz who have their way back into this game. Unfortunate for Pandawa Lima to get caught on both their Mars as well as their Necrophos. And again, that's the power of the black hole. That is the power of just being able to disable multiple heroes at the same time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Light Strike Array is going to miss, and that means Krish will not be able to get that kill. If he had the Laguna Blade, maybe he could have gotten that, but
Is under attack.
doesn't have the Laguna Blade. I am surprised that the Disruptor did not go for the blink into the
Radiant's
Static Storm.
tower has been killed.
And it just depends on who initiates, right, in this game, because your Static Storm has an upgrade to it, the Aghanim's upgrade. So if you blink in, use the Static Storm before the BKBs come out, the fight is won. But if Emptiness comes out with the Black Hole first and the Requiem that follows, then the fight is done. So whoever initiates first, or
Radiant's
whoever
bottom
gets the
tower
proper
is under
initiation first wins. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Dire are scanning.
Stoic. Smokes is gonna break. It's gonna be the Mars who will initiate first. Stoic will die. Has no buyback. A quick and simple kill with the Mars. Almost has his refresher. I believe he almost has it.
Scanning.
No, it's a Scythe of Weiss. Good enough, I suppose.
Dire are scanning.
Don't really need a double arena when you can just find the Scythe of Weiss. Again, instant initiation capacity from both teams is aplenty. As right now, they're using Monza to act as the frontliner. He doesn't have a gem. Who has a gem? No one has the gem. It's just a sentry that they used. They will head on over inside of the Roche pit and it will send out its roar. And that means Carstensz realize what's at play here. They need to be able to wrap around somehow. Emptiness is going to be up towards him. Emptiness does blink on forward. However, GZ, he will be the first casualty. Krish is stuck. Has no more BKB available. Static Storm has come out as well as the Glimpse and Carstensz. They will lose Krish to that Reaper Scythe. Still, the BKBs, DNZ doesn't have it for about 19 seconds. Needs to be super careful. Stoic will be the next casualty. 3 heroes now dead. Emptiness still waiting. Still looking. Probing for a potential black hole play. But it is impossible in this scenario. He'll just have to get back. He'll have to accept reality. And we will be there waiting for him to accept reality. Emptiness. On the move. Towards Roshan. There's the Mars. Leon sees him right there. Spear is gonna land as well as the arena, and Emptiness thought he was being sneaky. Roshan is going to fall. Azor will pick up the Aegis. The banner is on the ground.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, Laguna Blade, ice everything dropped down on the Mars, and he's just dead. You don't have the arena anyway, so I suppose him being alive doesn't really change much. But you do have to be careful. Emptiness is back. It is unfortunate that Azor took down Stoic right there. On top of your own high ground. Black hole, it comes out towards that back line, but the use was there, or rather, it was a Wind Waker coming in from the Snapfire. Perfect item against the black hole. DNZ has also committed his BKB, so I don't think that Pandawa Lima are going anywhere. They might as well stick to this position. Also going to be the Snapfire assassinate on GZ, as well as a Reaper Scythe. It's now just the two. DNZ, no BKB means he can't dish out the right clicks. He does not have the items for it. Sure, you have that Daedalus, but it's not good enough. They had a plan with the Black Hole plus the Requiem. That plan is a wash. That plan has not worked out outside of the few times they were able to come out with it.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
And now they will lose their first lane of barracks. Unlikely they'll go back. The Mars is teleporting in through to the outpost. So Pandawa Lima came in having covered their bases. Carstensz struggling to cover their base.
Are under attack.
Even if the Enigma respawns, he doesn't have a black hole for about 40 whole seconds. So how are you going to make a play? No BKB for 17 seconds either means that you might just have to forfeit your melee barracks. Azor is going to get blinked, or rather hookshotted upon. You do have a Requiem, but you got speared. The Mars, unfortunately, Leon is going to lose his life immediately. And maybe because the Mars is dead, you might just be able to stick to your high ground defense, and Pandawa Lima might just have to get back. Black Hole up in about 13 seconds as Azure has lost his Aegis. Aeon just popped by Monza, but he's stuck. He will use the BKB and attempt to walk away. Death Seekers towards that low ground and will be able to get back. Static Storm is placed down as GZ is going to get hit by the Assassinate. Mortimers will take him out, but they are on the hunt. Krish wants to go for the Sniper, activates his BKB. Requiem has come out, but a Wind Waker saved by the Snapfire, and the Snapfire is alive. GZ will go in, and there's that Black Hole once more. Enough to take out that Sniper. Is it enough to take out Monza? The right clicks are coming in, and Monza will fall.
Bottom tower is under attack.
They might lose both of their supports as the Disruptor teleports away. Jarim will also be able to walk away thanks to that Blink Dagger.
Radiant's
Krish.
bottom tower is under attack.
Similar to Noob, he is making a Dagon. You know, from Noob is currently on Team Gens with Parker, Russell, Yodomi, as well as Jing. And whenever Noob plays Lina, he always makes the Dagon and upgrades it to a level 5. Right? Plenty of damage, 800 magical damage, and then you have 760 magical damage. The level 5 Lagoon Dagon is actually stronger than the Laguna Blade is, because it's also an instant cost time animation. It doesn't really have an animation. It also gives you attributes, health, mana, as well as increased cost range, right? So this is a fantastic item to actually make.
Are scanning.
Without an Ether Lens, mind you. And it's almost as much cost range as an Ether Lens. It's 180 cost range. Ether Lens gives you about, I believe, 250. Now, I don't think Carstensz are going to be able to push, but if you can get to your refresher orbs, especially on the Enigma, double Black Hole, you can find the comeback, you can find the win. GZ thinking about that hook shot. They have planted down an Observer Ward. GZ is gonna go in for it. Krish will go in with the BKB, as well as the right clicks is able to take out the Disruptor, but the Disruptor is teleporting back. Krish might just get glimpsed back. Okay, it's Stoic who gets glimpsed back. A bit of a right click miss, or rather just whiffs that spell, and not that worth it for an entire buyback having been committed on the Disruptor. The next time he dies, he's going to be out for about a full 2 minutes, nearly 115 seconds, and that will be plenty of time for Carstensz to make a move. But they need to take the Disruptor down first. They don't have a lane of barracks, and it's DNZ. Failed to see that play coming. Right clicks are going to be flying in, and DNZ is dead. Has about 7,500 gold in his pockets, so he has a buyback and 5,000 gold to spare. I don't know why he's holding that much gold, but maybe because he has no item slots.
Under attack.
But because he is dead, because 3 heroes are dead on Carstensz, they will have to give up their second lane as well. The good news is that there's no way Mega Creeps can be acquired right now. The bot lane tier 2 tower still stands, but Azure, he will stand his ground and right click the tier 4s. It's a slow burn towards the tier 4s, and there's also a glyph available, so there's no way that they go for the throne right now. It's just chip damage that they are attempting. And Ice Blast will also slow Azure down. He will likely get back. Oh, Black Hole! It comes out immediately. Wind Waker save is going to be there. Cookie won't be able to help out Monza, but he has that Aeon disc. Krish goes all in to try and take out that Sniper. Azure is trying to get back, but too much magical damage on him. Monza still on that high ground, faced up with the right clicks of that Shadow Fiend, has to get back. The pings are coming out for that Necro. He has no Reaper Sight. However, Mortimers might be enough to take out Krish as well as a Static Storm. Shadow Fiend has also bought back, has no more BKB. It's now just up to the Shadow Fiend and the rest of his supports to be able to hold back this Necrophos. GZ going to be the first point of contact as Krish buys back immediately. Stoic very low on his HP, needs to be super careful. Might just end up dead. Necro is just gonna teleport away. Requiem is not going to be coming out, and that is not a worth it buyback for Krish. Jeezy's gonna miss his hookshot, and Carstensz, I feel like they have pooled their chips into this one basket of... it's a basket of death. It's a basket of it's a... I don't know what to call it. I can't find the perfect analogy. But they don't have buybacks. Mars is gonna go in on that Shadow Fiend, uses another arena. There's that shield crash, and DNC, he has that invisibility. Leon will not be able to find that kill. Monza. Ooh, Enigma Malefice comes in. Monza uses that BKB. Krish activates his own BKB. Monza wants to find the right opportunity. Just find a Reaper sight, but Emptiness is chasing in after him. Monza, no more Shroud, or rather no opportunity to use that Shroud. Sniper comes in as well, and you have to be really careful about this. Snapfire is right behind that Sniper, so he has that Wind Waker save, but the Black Hole is ready and available for Emptiness.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And again, everyone is holding so much gold in their inventory. Azor should be going for a Daedalus. I do think it's the right item to go for. Satanic could also be an option, but you don't heal under the effects of that Ice Blast, so it's not going to be as effective. For some reason, the tier 1 tower still stands. And Leon is just gonna go right click it down. A few hits will do the trick. Emptiness is looking though. So if Leon were to have gone for that creep wave, as he seems to want to go for, Emptiness could go for a play. But in the end, will reveal his own position to the range creep, I believe. It is nighttime, so it's hard to tell. But...
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire are scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Pandawa Lima. They saw Stoic, they caught a whiff of him. And they will be able to take him out. Roshan. Also under threat. Will likely to go down. Will likely be going down, and it comes with a banner. However, Roshan is making its migration, and Pandawa Lima will not be able to finish him from inside of the Roche pit. However, it's an initiation. Krish, he's the one in trouble, has no buyback. Emptiness whiffs his black hole, and this might just be it for Carstensz. One mistake is all it will take to cost them this series. Emptiness will go down as well. Krish dead for 120 seconds as DNC over on the back line seems to have defied fate. He has taken down Azor. He might just have held the game for a bit longer, but Jeezy, he missed his hook shot and now has to find his way out. No teleport scroll available. They are on the hunt for him. Won't be able to find him. The throne exposed though. As Roshan can be taken out, Monza will likely go in for it, has the second upgraded boost of travel and an amplified damage rune waiting for him. I am a bit surprised that the sniper isn't using a buyback, but it's the, I would suppose, the level of commitment as far as these very high risk plays go. It's not as prevalent in tier 2 to tier 3 teams than it is for tier 1 teams. The tier 1 team might have just bought back on that sniper and ended the game. Might have just gone for the throne right there because you know there's no Requiem. You know there's no Requiem, and like you knew there was no Requiem, and you knew there was no BKB. So a sniper buyback just ends the game there. Like, how does a sniper die in that kind of a scenario? It's literally impossible. Especially since the Snapfire also had a buyback with the Wind Waker save. So even if the sniper was being right-clicked down for any reason, then you could have just came in with the Wind Waker save. Pandawa Lima had a very good opportunity to just end this game right now, but it's a difficult decision that they chose not to make. And rather than the difficult decision, they're going to go for the safe decision, which is Roshan. However, Emptiness is back with the black hole that is going to be up in about 2 seconds, so Carstensz are likely to want to fight, or at least think about contesting Roshan. But it's already dropped. The Aegis is already on the ground. Oh, as the clockwork inside of the Yule is going to be able to hookshot away. Oh, rather, actually, no, he didn't hookshot anywhere. He's right there. Dead for about 90 seconds. Has a buyback available. Shadowfiend is also about to have his buyback, but Krish, his buyback is on cooldown for the next whole minute. And Emptiness doesn't even have one, so he needs to... This Enigma should be the one that's most careful. Because you need that black hole, you even have a refresher, but what good is that refresher as well as your own ultimate if you're just dead? So make sure you stay alive, and he will have the setup for it. However, his Shadow Fiend won't. DNZ is dead. He immediately buys back into it. Throne now exposed as it was earlier. DNZ, Emptiness going to go in. Aeon Disc is popped as the Mars goes in, and Emptiness will not get off a single black hole. He is just dead without a buyback. A desperate situation overall for Carstensz as Krish goes in towards the side but has no more BKB to use. He will fall down as well. Has a buyback available in a few more seconds as it comes up. Has to immediately go for it. But DNZ, he is going to be brought back. Has to throw out his Requiem in a desperate move to save his life. Hold his ground as his teammates arrive. DNZ, however, he's still right in the center, probing that throne, goes now all in towards DNZ and will be able to take that Shadow Fiend out. Carstensz on the brink of defeat, now just up to Krish, but Stoic will tap out. Carstensz will lose game number 2 to Pandawa Lima. And Pandawa Lima, game number 1, they played the better game. There is no doubt about that. But game number 2, this draft by Carstensz, I don't understand it. Like, no team that I know goes all in towards an Enigma draft like that. Now, sure,